A 4-year-old AI coding tool just became worth more than most Fortune 500 companies. And this same tool could literally replace half the developers in the industry within the next 5 years. And that's not me being dramatic, that's Cursor. And today I'm wrestling with what that actually means for people like me, people who study coding and study software engineering, whose whole identity is being in tech. So this is the story that nobody's talking about, but everybody should be. So here's what just happened. Cursor is an AI-powered code editor that most people have never heard of, but it just hit $2 billion in annualized revenue. So let that sink in, right? $2 billion in a year from a tool that basically helps you write code faster. And they're raising new funding at a $50 billion valuation. For context, that's more than Spotify was worth when it went public. That's more than Airbnb at IPO. We're talking about a tool that's only been around for 4 years. And it's already in the conversation with some of the most valuable companies in the world. But here's what actually matters. Cursor isn't just a tool, it's a signal. It's telling us something massive about where technology is heading. And it's terrifying and exciting at time. If you think about it like this, 10 years ago, we had this moment, not 10, like 15 years, like that moment, but for coding. And here's why I want to get real with you, because I need to be honest about what I feel as a developer who studies software engineering, like I said, who debugs at 2 a.m., who was forced to build things from scratch. And now there's this tool that can do it in seconds, which used to take a human hours. And, part of me is genuinely excited about that. But another part of me is scared because if Cursor can write all this code so well, what happens to developers? What happens to the value of knowing how to actually build things? And I'm not alone in this because the entire tech industry is having this conversation right now. But we're doing it quietly in Slack channels and at conferences. We're not saying it out loud on social media. But here's what I think is actually happening though. We're not at the end of development, we're at the beginning of a completely different kind of development. The developers who are going to thrive aren't the ones who can write the most elegant code, right? They're going to be the ones who can think strategically about problems, who can direct AI to solve those problems, and who can understand the human implications of what they're building. So, like when calculators, actually mathematicians just got to do more interesting math. They stopped doing arithmetic and started solving bigger problems. So that's what's happening here. And it's a transition, of course. Transitions are uncomfortable, but they're also where the real innovation happens. So here's what really gets me about Cursor hitting $50 billion. It's not just about coding, it's about what this tells us about the future of work itself. So think about what's happening right now with OpenAI hiring 8,000 new people. Anduril, I believe I'm saying that company's name right, just launched a massive Pentagon contract for AI-powered defense systems. And the government is literally creating frameworks to train people in AI skills. So we're in the middle of the biggest economic restructuring since the Industrial Revolution, and most people are just going about their day normally, right? Like this isn't would have written, right? And instead of feeling bad about it, I felt something else. I felt liberated because suddenly I wasn't spending 3 hours debugging. I was spending 3 hours thinking about the actual problem I was trying to solve. And that's the real story. It's not that AI is replacing developers. It's that AI is changing what it means to be valuable in a technical field. And honestly, I think that's beautiful because it means the people who are going to win aren't the ones who can memorize syntax. They're the ones who can think critically, communicate clearly, and understand human needs. Now, those skills don't get automated. They get more valuable over time. But here's what I want you to think about. Whether you're a developer or not, right? We're at an incredible inflection point where the question isn't, will AI replace my job? The question is, am I going to adapt faster than the technology is changing? Because Cursor is just the beginning, in 6 months experimenting, right? You stop being afraid of the tools and start thinking about how to use them to do work that actually matters. And if you're in tech specifically, stop gatekeeping. Stop acting like knowing how to only certain people can have. Because it's not anymore. And that's actually good news. It means more people can build. It means more ideas can come to life. The future isn't about who can code the fastest. It's about who can think the clearest and build the most meaningful things. So my challenge for you this week is to try one AI tool you've never used before, like Cursor, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever it is. Don't use it to replace your thinking. Use it to amplify your thinking and see what happens next. Then come back, tell me about it, man. Drop a comment, send me a message, let me know what you discovered, because this conversation just got started. So thanks for listening. I'm Kai John. I'll see you next time. Of course, it's the Sovereign Architect. You know what it is.